Hello everybody, thanks for stopping by. I'm so glad that you did. To all of my returning subscribers, thank you so much. Your comments, your support just means the world to me. I just can't even explain it, and I'm not going to try. To anybody that's new, I hope that this video inspires you in some way. The last time we got together, I was making a fabric covered journal, hardcover journal, and I have only made one before in my whole life, so I really took a risk in doing that on video because it was going to be either a complete disaster or it would go well. And my opinion of that video wasn't that great, and I'm sorry. I should have done a prototype first to make sure I knew exactly what to do, when to do it, and I was so worried about the time. So that said, because of all the work that I had to do in painting the cover, I decided that it was to be honest, I was too concerned that I would not do it the way that I envisioned it, if that makes sense, if I did it online. Because one, what I envisioned, because this kit, it's the works of BEATRIX Potter. So it's not really like this journal, which was my first journal I ever made, which is Peter Rabbit. And I'll show you that in a second. That's an altered book. This is actually about BEATRIX Potter. So I do lace, you know that. Pink is my favorite color. I love pastels. But with this kit, it's just so different. I've said in my previous videos that I don't believe that there is another author of children's books that I admire most or more than BEATRIX Potter. So like I said, she was on the second page, bam, just like that. I went and I bought the kit. Well, when I was working on, how I was going to do the kit, and I sketched out my, exactly what I was going to do. I printed the pages wrong twice, so I had a lot of pages, for those of you who are new and haven't watched my previous videos. But I have a lot of scraps, which is good. And I have a lot of papers that I can use, and I have been using them, so that's good. The other thing I wanted to mention is, several months ago, well, probably almost a year ago now, I can't remember, Rach from Rach and Bella Crafts asked me not only to be on her admin team for her Facebook group, but she asked me to be on her design team. For anybody that's ever been asked to be on a design team, you already know how humbling it is. And to be on this particular person's design team is pretty much overwhelming. So while I was designing the kit, I said to her, I texted her and I said, would it be okay? I already bought the kit, but would it be okay if I started doing design team work again? Because life happened. If you're, not new to my channel, I had a daughter that was badly injured at work, and I've been with her for months. So I haven't been doing a lot of videos. I'm trying to get my numbers up. I've been, just here, there, and everywhere. So anyway, she said, oh my gosh, yes, absolutely. You can do a design team project. So, of course, I'm doing my design team project for Rach and Bella Crafts using the works of Beatrix Potter. Now, I would love to show you the entire kit, but like I said, I've already printed the kit twice. This is the third time I printed it. And I'll show you, and I've used a lot of the scraps, but this is the kit. So, unfortunately, I've already put my pages together, and I'll show those to you. And I can show you some of the kit by flipping the pages. So, let's get back to the cover. So this is the kit, the works of Beatrix Potter. It's not about Peter Rabbit. And if you all know me, you know I love pink and pastels and all of that. And I didn't want this journal to be about Peter Rabbit. I truly wanted it to be about my beloved Beatrix Potter. And I don't know anybody else has ever done a kit about Beatrix Potter. And when I tell you that I have at least 20 of her books, I'm not exaggerating. I have probably 25 of her books. And one of which is her diary. I don't know how many other people have it, but it is fabulous. And I'll show you that if we have time. But we have to get to what we're making tonight. So here's the cover. Are you ready? I had to mix the paints, and I had to decide how I was going to make it look old, you know, and worn. So that's why I didn't do it on camera. And I was afraid of the board warping because I was painting it, and I've never painted a cover. I've never painted fabric in my life, except using fabric paint, and I used acrylic. And I had to mix 3 colors to get the right spring green. Green's not my favorite color. But I am so pleased and so enamored with this cover, I can't tell you, because it came out exactly how I had imagined it. So here we go. Let me move this piece of paper. This is what we're going to work on tonight. But here's my cover. Now, for anybody that wants to see it when I made it, you can go to the video prior to this video, and you'll see it. But what I did was I covered it with, I brought out a piece of the fabric. I took some chipboard, very lightweight chipboard, and let me just take these out. I haven't put the signatures in yet. This was really hard too. What am I going to put on the inside flaps? So that was really, really hard, but I did it. And what was I going to choose for the cover? You know, because I couldn't just leave it green. I mean, I had to choose something. And did I want to print it on fabric? What did I want to print it on? So what I did was I covered it with this. I covered the chipboard with this, and you can see the video before this. And it was covered. And then when it got all dried, I covered it with another piece of the muslin fabric. And this is a very, like a medium weight. It's not real lightweight, it's a medium weight. So this is it. This is the inside, and this is the outside. And what I did was I mixed 3 colors. I mixed a, almost like a very, very deep yellow, and I have none of it left. I used a lot of white, and then I used a green, which is the only green that I had. And it came out exactly how I had planned it. It's, I don't know if it's showing up right in the camera, but what I did was I painted it all first, and I will definitely, now that I'm confident enough, because, I mean, I'm not very confident doing YouTube anyway, as you all probably can tell. I'm a nervous wreck all the time. Hold on 1 second. Let me take a sip of my tea because my throat is just on fire. And I've tried to video this 3 times. The last time I tried to video it, this was over here, and it fell, and all the buttons went everywhere because I pulled out some buttons for tonight's craft along. Excuse me. Thank you. So, I'll just leave it here. So then what I did, so I covered it. I painted it. And then what I did was I took my sanding block, which is this. And I just lightly, because I wanted to bring the fibers out to make it look like a cloth bound, you know, a real cloth bound book. So I just took it, and I wanted it to be aged. I didn't want it to look brand new. So I just took my sanding block, and as you can see, it brought the fibers out of the fabric, which I love. And it took a lot of that green away, so it's not so in-your-face green. Why did I choose green? There's a lot of green in the journal, but I had to look at a lot of my older books, and a lot of them, the cloth-bound ones, you know, the cloth-covered ones, are a green color. Not this green, not this spring green that I had in mind for this, because I always pictured Beatrix doing a lot of her work in the spring, and because the kit has a lot of spring in it. And I already knew that this was going to be the cover. Like, before I even did the journal, I knew that this was going to be the cover. Whether it be a paper bag journal or whatever kind of journal it was going to be, that was going to be the cover. Because, you know, it has some writings, it has some little sketches that I went over with a, I don't know if you can see it in the camera, but I went over it with a charcoal pencil. Really sharp charcoal pencil. And I went over it with that. And I did, you know, there's a little bunny here. So I went over that and just kind of highlighted some areas. I made some little antennae. It's got the bunnies. And so yeah, I mean, it was perfect. And that was the other side of the page. So all I had to do was cut it, you know, cut it down to fit. And so once I was done and I had, you know, it all sanded down and, you know, the right color, I think it could still be a little bit lighter. I was going to add a little bit of gesso, but I tried it on some, actually the inside fabric that I painted before I put more of this over it, because, you know, when you fold it and you fold your corners, I had, you know, some green. So I tested some things on it first, just to make sure. And then I wanted the edges to be kind of, you know, frayed a little bit, so it looked like it was worn. So when I tore the fabric, I made sure that although it's glued very well, I just took my fingernail and I kind of went, you know, around it and pulled those fibers. So I don't know if it's showing up in the camera, but there's a few fibers sticking out. I am very happy with my cover. So that's all I did. I just painted it. Oh, I painted it, and then I took it like this, and I took 2 clips like this. Once it was nearly dry, I put a clip here, put a clip on the other side. I took my ruler, I put it inside here, made sure it was, you know, nice and squared off. Then I went along this with my, actually I did this with my fingernail file because I was afraid I was going to take too much off. And then I left it just like this overnight with 2 clips in it, just so I knew that everything would be square when I woke up in the morning. And it was. So I'm really happy with it. I know I'm going on and on about it, but like I said, it was my first ever doing a painted you know, painting with acrylic paints on fabric, and I just love it. Now, I'm still on the fence about going around it here and there with some of the gilding wax. This is a vintage gold, so it's not real shiny. In order to do that, I mean, I know I can do it, and I think it would look good, but I'm going to have to, because I've covered up all the green, I'm going to have to do more mixing, and I'm almost out. Like, I have a little bit of the yellow left. I have plenty of the green because I didn't use that much, and I still have a little bit of the white. I don't drive, so I can't like go someplace and buy what I need, and you can't tell really colors online. So yeah, you just have to do the best you can, which worked out great. So I'd like to just a little bit, you know, maybe on the edges. So if you could help me decide whether or not I should add some of this, and you know what I'll do? I'll put it, actually, I just saw a green envelope here. I have some things in here that I'm going to be doing a video on. So I put them in here and put them up there for my next video. But I'll show you the color. It's not real gold. It's like this. And all I would do is probably like in here, along here, and, you know, the edges. So, if you're watching, would you leave me a comment and let me know if that's something you would do? Very, very lightly, you know, that's the color. And let me know what you would do. And then I'll take it from there. So that's her, and I'm very happy with it. And I promise, for anyone who wants to see this done, I'm confident that I can do it on video now, because it took me no time at all. Mixing the paint and painting it and having it not warp was what I was concerned about. And I was not confident enough to do that on video and have it do that and be like, uh-oh, what do I do now? So anyway, that's her. That's her cover. And I'll show you the pages of the kit because it is a design team project. I like to feature the whole kit when I do a design team project. With this kit, that wasn't hard at all because every single page is, I'm in love with every single page. How to do it was difficult. So I'm going to, this is going to be a hidden spine. I will do that on video. When I tie my spines in and put them in, because it's going to be a hidden spine, I'm not going to go through the back. I'm going to do a hidden spine. So I'll do that on video, and I'll probably do that tomorrow. I just want to make sure I'm not going to be sewing in anything, you know, before I sew it into the journal. So this will go like this. And then I had trouble with what am I going to put here and here. So, you know, in looking through my books, all my Beatrix Potter books, and looking through the kit, I decided on a book that I've had for years because I'm an avid gardener and I have like too many gardening books. But this one is a British one. And since Beatrix, you know, was British, I chose these because I loved the script writing. I loved that I was able to fit both this and this, which this particular herb is actually in the journal. So I went through the entire book looking for herbs and flowers that were in the kit. So that's what I did. Now, I've had people ask me in the past, if you're doing a journal as a design team project, why do you use other people's papers? Well, I'm not using other people's papers. I'm using book pages. And it's okay to use these book pages because they're out of copyright. Wait a minute, this page goes like this. Sorry. Yeah. So this is going to go here. This is going to go there. And that's going to be my inside cover. And then this, like I said, it's going to be a hidden spine. I have 2 signatures. Okay? So they'll go like that. And then these are my pages. And as you can see, I did not cut off the borders. I wanted to keep the borders because I just thought it gave so much to the page. So I left my borders on. They were white, but all I did was I took my Distress Oxide in, and I had to get another because I used so much of it doing this because I distressed every single page. And I used antique linen. And I just distressed all the edges because, like I said, I just think it really frames the image so well. And let me know what you think, because I've never seen anybody do that before. You know, keep their edges. So I'd really appreciate your feedback on that. So this is one of the pages, and it's my favorite. Bella, if you're watching. Bella is Bella's Crafty Studio. I'd really like you to go visit her. Bella is Rachel's mom. They used to have Rach and Bella Crafts in the same YouTube channel, but then Bella went to her own YouTube channel because Rach was working and busy, and Bella's quite fast, and she was putting out, you know, journals left and right and ephemera and all this stuff, and so now she has her own channel. She's doing great. But she'd love you to visit, and you will love her. She's fabulous. She's become a very, very good friend. But anyway, so this is the first page. And then this is the second page. Again, from the kit. Now, you can see that this is white. And people are like, oh, you have a white page. But I have a plan for it. And you'll see it when I do the walkthrough. And then I have some tea-stained graph paper that I printed this on. Now, if you tea-stain your graph paper long enough, the graph goes away. Sometimes. So, sometimes it goes away, sometimes it doesn't. It depends on how much tea and what have you put on it. And as you can see, I brush my tea on page by page and let it dry in the sun. So I do one page, one side, brush it on with a paintbrush where I want it, let that side dry, flip it, take the paintbrush, dip it, paint the other side, let it dry, done. I know it's crazy, but it's the way I like it. Another one of the pages from the kit. This is from the same book as this. And it's called, I almost don't want to show it because people will be like, why did you cut that up? But I had to because it went with the kit. But it's the Frampton, Florida floor book. And I've had this since 1975. And, you know, I've flipped through this like 7,000 times. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to start using it. And I had to because it's for BEATRIX. And from my friend Rach, who asked me to be on her design team. So I have to do a good job. So anyway, I wanted to incorporate the cover. So I added one of the book pages here. And I did not want to cut it. So you can open it this way. And open it this way. Because it's just too beautiful to cut up. I can take them out. I can't cut them up yet. This is a background page from the kit. And this is another page. That's the full page. But can you see what I mean? It's just like her drawings and her lilies. And if you've ever read anything about Beatrix Potter, this whole page has so much meaning. The garden that she drew for her lake house. She's amazing. She's an amazing woman. And Rach, you did a fabulous job with this kit. This is the center of the first signature. And this is the lake house. And then, of course, Peter Rabbit with their mom, the triplets, and Peter. Sorry, the triplets and Peter. Isn't that beautiful? I hope you can see that. This is not from the kit, but I had to use it because it went with the kit. So, and it took me forever to find this. This is from Graphic Theory, so it's not from another person's kit. I belong to Graphic Theories, and I've always loved this. And I thought, I need something to go with it. And I remembered I had that, so I added that. And I'm hoping that Rach doesn't mind. And there's the other side of that book page. And I left here, you know, the native species, and it grows in limestone in England, and it's rare and, you know, blah, 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 blah. So I just thought it was neat that, you know, all the flowers that she would sketch and look at and plant in her garden, I was able to find them in that particular book. And I went through many. And there's another page. I think this is my second favorite page. Maybe it's the colors. I don't know. It's just beautiful. Graph paper. And then, well, this is another favorite. I actually printed this on fabric. So that's the first signature. There's that cover again. I had to use it again because it's like another favorite. They're all my favorites. But every single page from the kit you're seeing. Because I featured the entire kit. Somehow, some way, I fit it all in. And then another page, tulips, graph paper, the family tree. This is, again, and, you know, edged and distressed. Like I said, I have something planned for the white pages. Reason why I didn't back it. And then I got another one, the yarrow, which is in the kit. I haven't gotten to that page yet. But this is, she designed one of these flowers. So I used that one. And also that one. And I left, you know, the information. Tea stain paper. More graph paper. This, too, is from the Graphic Theories. I need another center spread, and I didn't want to use the same one. So I went through all that I had on Graphic Theories, and I'm pretty sure that this is from Secret Garden, if you belong to Graphic Theories. But it had the bunny, and it had the stairs, like, going into what I perceive as the lake house. So those are the only two pages that I have in the journal that aren't from the kit. Except for tea stain paper and book page. Isn't that beautiful? This is dated 1846, this painting. And this opens up like that. I mean, really? This is not the most beautiful page. It's just gorgeous. I'm so happy with it. I'm really happy. And thank you, Rachel, for letting me do this as a design team project. And then we're at the end again. See? Here it is right here. Look at that. And she has designed it. You can't see it in the camera, but when I printed it, I was just like in love. because it's just got little sketches and letters that she had written, and I don't know. She's amazing. She's just amazing. That's all. At the end, I'll stop gushing and I'll move on. So here is my journal so far. 2 signatures, and there are 15 pages in each signature. 15 full pages. So whatever that makes, I don't know. I never count that kind of thing. I just use all the pages. So that's her. And she lays flat. And hopefully the ephemera that I'm making will also keep her, flat. I just love her. I'm really happy with her. And I'll move on. This was my first journal I ever made. And this is Peter Rabbit. And it just opens. It's just a ribbon closure. I looked and looked and looked and looked and looked and looked and looked for this fabric. I had made the journal without a cover in mind. But wait till you see how I covered it. Do you remember when you were in school and you had to cover your books? Well, I didn't know anything about covering books, and this is fabric. And so I'm like, well, how do you cover, a book? It's an altered book. Like, how am I going to cover it? So I covered it like we did when we were in school. I covered it just like you would a book when you were in school. And it worked. So, yeah. This has no digitals. I didn't know about digitals back then. This was 3.5 years ago. Opens like this. It's all from book pages and things that I got off of the web. But mostly book pages. And I just keep pictures of, like, this is Lindsay and her brother when they were little. This was a card I got off of some stickers or something and made a journal card out of it. That's Lindsay and her brother Colby. And I have some, pictures of when they were babies and stuff. So that's what I've been doing. That's what I did with it because I didn't know what else to do with it. And this is a pocket here. There's also a pocket here. And of course, my kids have been through it 1,000 times looking at it. So this piece is missing. So it's from a book page, another book page. Here I put radishes, and I took some seed packets that I had planted. I literally planted these in my garden, and I thought, oh, I could put them in my Peter Rabbit book because they would have had a garden, right? So I have a picture of some radishes, my radishes, and then this is just Lindsay and her best friend, and anyway, they go in that pocket. And yeah, so just to give you an idea that you don't need to have digitals, but this isn't BEATRIX Potter. This is Peter Rabbit. And then, I have Peter Rabbit there that came out of one of my books, and I just tucked him under there because he's kind of hiding. And this, I think it was scrapbook paper or something that I put there that I had. My grandchildren, my granddaughters. Here I made just a little booklet. And remind you, I had no idea what I was doing. Like I did because I followed Crafty Irina. She was the first person I ever saw do an altered book. And I thought, well, that looks simple enough. I can do that. I have paper. I mean, I was with Creative Memories for years, so I had a lot of paper and stuff. And so I did it. And then there's an image of carrots. And Peter's going into the carrot garden to get the carrots. And I made a little pocket out of it. And I backed the pages with tea stain paper. Peter Rabbit from a book page. This is just my son and my other granddaughter and his wife. Here I made a little booklet like this. This I made to look like a postcard. Put a stamp here. More radishes, carrots, beets. And where I was living when I did this book, I had a huge garden, vegetable and flowers. This I learned how to do right at the very end of making the book, avocado paper. So that was what was left from the baking paper. And then again, just these are photos of friends and mostly my kids and their kids, because I didn't know what else to do with it. And then this flips out, picture my granddaughter. I'm not going to go through the whole thing. This flips up. And then this is a napkin that I decoupaged. I was real proud of that. I got it at the Dollar Tree, and I put it on some cardstock, and then I put some threads to make it look, you know, like a bunny. This is my granddaughter. It just goes to show you another way to do journals. This I'm really proud of. You open it like this. This is the whole story of Peter Rabbit. Isn't this cool? When I opened it up, because I haven't opened it in 3 years, I thought, oh, I have to do that in my journal. I forgot about that. I have this stamp still. Just, you know, I'm such a fan. But this is all out of book page. And I put it all together and made tags. And I was going to cut the tags out. And I thought, no, because it's the whole story. You know, it starts off here, here, and ends here. And it doesn't have the words or anything, but I just thought it was a cool idea. And it was my idea, which was pretty different because I don't have a lot of ideas. I follow other people, and that's how I get my ideas. Out of a book, again, one of my Peter Rabbit books. I have many. This I made, it's a belly band, and I put some fabric. And this is antique here, and this is, you know, just newer. And I just sewed it onto this to make the belly band. And then there's pictures and another journaling card. This was off of some stickers. Again, this was just the back of stickers. So funny. Isn't it funny? You go back and look at your old journals. I love it. I'm so happy I never gave it away. This is a fabric pocket. I don't know where it is, but what was in it. This is a flip up, and it's Peter hiding. And another book page, and I just put a circle in here. Creative Memories had this plastic you could put on, and then you rolled it around and it made the circle for it. Well, I cut it too big, so I just put book page behind it. This here is not washi tape, it's just paper. But it looks like washi tape now that you look at it. And then just more papers I had from Creative Memories, a sticker. And like I said, I won't go through the whole thing. This is a paint chip. And I just put that on the paint chip and then added that to the back so you could pull it out. This is from packaging. This is a paper bag from the Dollar Tree. It's got pictures in it. Another book page. Paper from Creative Memories. Pockets. Some more book page, but I put them on paint chips because that's what I had. You know, you use what you have, but you don't need digitals, right? Here's another part of the story I cut out from the a different Peter Rabbit book, and kind of followed the story as best as I could on those 2 pages. But that was my very, very first attempt at collaging. I didn't do a very good job, but it's cute. And then another page, you know, of paper that went well on Lindsay, and this is when she was a baby. And then some more, you know, for my grandchildren's pictures and stuff that I haven't placed in there yet. And I just put this in here the other day, and this is my nephew and his niece who's from Ireland. So yeah, So it just goes to show, and it lays flat, and it opens, and you can write, and I don't have any tags or anything. I thought this was a really good idea. I'll have to do that again sometime. I thought this was a good idea too. But I didn't do it like, you know, with the flip down pockets or anything like that, because that was way too complicated back then, 3.5 years ago. So that's that. And let me see, where are we with time? I might have to end this video here, and I'll do the next part in the next video, which this will post, and then the next video will post right after it. So thank you for stopping by and for listening to all my garb and for my excitement over my journal, which I'm very, very excited about. I'm sorry we did not do the craft along, but like I said, I'm going to turn this video off and then I'm going to do the craft along. So I hope you like that, and leave me a comment about what you think about me using the gilding wax around it, or should I just leave it as is? Okay? And if anybody ever wants to do an altered book, I've done several, and I could always do another one. The last one I did using digitals. But this one I did all using book pages or scrapbook paper that I had in my house. And then the fabric I finally found to cover it, and put some lace on the spine. But I wanted something to really look like Peter Rabbit, and this to me looked like Peter Rabbit. So, and I found it at, I don't even know where I found it. I think a fabric store somewhere. And I even used this Lindsay with the little rabbit in our garden in Plymouth, Massachusetts, where we used to live. So yeah. So if anybody's interested in doing an altered book, I would love to do another altered book. I just love this. I gotta do this again. It's so cute. Okay, folks. Thank you so, so very much. I really appreciate you. And I hope that you have a great evening. And I'm going to turn off this video, and I'm going to do the craft along. Okay? Until then, be well, be safe, and God bless. And thanks, Rach. I really appreciate it. Bye-bye, everybody.